Hey, we're back. A part two now of Gray Hack. We were on single player. I'm gonna keep playing single player, by the way. I got some comments on the last video. Number one, got a request for part two, so here you go on that one. But I also got a comment here from Gray Hack Gaming. Let's see. They confirmed that the showing my own email in the reply is a bug, so that's good to know. It wasn't just me. Does seem to be a bug in the game, so keeping that in mind now. What else do we have? Oh, apparently tab autocomplete does work, but it's case sensitive, and you can control, you can copy paste with keyboard hotkeys, but it uses the Linux hotkeys of Control Shift C and V instead of the Windows hotkeys of Control C, Control V. Um, exploit report exe, they say, is for forcing libpatch updates. Okay, so that's not what I assumed it was, but it's good to know that that's what that's for. So we'll get to that. And I am going to keep playing in the single player version because that's where I started. But apparently, according to Grey Hat Gaming, the multiplayer world is persistent and, in their estimation, more interesting because it has player-created content and so on. But because, you know, I'm making videos anyway, I don't want the multiplayer interaction, at least for these videos. I'm just evaluating the thing. That said, I might jump into multiplayer after a couple of parts just to, you know, check it out and all that. So let's see if we can get back to where we were. I don't see a continue button. I see only a play. So and let's see if we still have what we. Okay, I did reconnect to that. Was it Gillenberg? Yeah, Gillen BR Wi-Fi signal. So that's where we were last time. Let me check my notes. Oh, I must have forgot to save them or something. Let's see. I think it was Dagger or so. I think. I don't know. We might have to redo that one. All right, let's go back to the mail client. And okay, all of this is as it was before. So we are where we left off. Okay. Come on. Come on. And that in there and the IP. Okay. Okay. It says it was copied to the clipboard, but there we go. Okay. Um, now, where did I leave off? I think I did do an nmap last time, but let's try that again. All right, yep, port 22 for SSH, that's fine. Seeing it has a local IP in addition to this public IP here. And let's see, was it the manual that had the, yeah, basic commands, network commands. Okay, so Airmon, Airplay, Aircrack, IW list. That's how we got to the Wi-Fi network, BR. Let's save it this time to be sure. Oh, I guess I did save it last time. I just didn't open it up. Okay, well, we'll just over. Oh, wait, no. I don't want to overwrite it because I may not have the right. Hey, look at that. I actually didn't remember the password. I think that's correct. All right. All right. So, oh, and what were we doing here? In order to access the private server, we need to find the password. So there's an encrypted password in the client configuration file of the target's computer. Okay. One last tip I have from Grey Hat Gaming from their comment is to check the who is command. So let's see what we got here. Provides public information about the IP address, such as the domain name, and information about the network administrator. Okay, well, that is what whois does, so let's try it. gdon.org, administrative contact is Reese. Oh, okay. I get it. I get it now. So, knowing the bug was a bug, now I can try social engineering again. And okay, keyboard commands. Okay, they're not working there. What the heck? Okay, weirdly. All right, so weirdly, Control Shift CV for copy and paste on the clipboard, and then Control C, Control V for the mail client. See, if I go Control Shift V to paste, nothing. Control V here is paste. If I come down here, okay, so Control C, Control V, it's inconsistent. It works sometimes and it doesn't work other times. Yeah, see, Control V, Control C doesn't work there. It's it's fine. It's a fairly minor thing, and it's not all that unrealistic. I switch between operating systems a lot, Windows and different flavors of Linux all the time. So, um, my brain and hotkeys um, are constantly at odds. All right, so now that I know who the administrator is, I can fill in these. All right. Reese, all right, and I work for you at, is it Paycorn? All right. All right, now let's send that fish. Oh, I do not work there. Where's the email? Oh, GDON. Actually, I wonder if I can go there. Oh, that's the map. Can I go there and get? No, I can't. I was gonna say if I can go there and I can get additional information, do a little mini recon, mini OSINT challenge. That'd be cool. All right, let's try. I don't know if we can do it again. Let's try it. So this time we got some feedback though. He says he doesn't work there. So now I at least know that I'm on the right track. I just have the wrong um GDON. I just have the wrong text there. So let's try again. Oops, and I need email address. Um, Same message. I do not work there. Okay. Um, it doesn't say in the email. So it's not Paycorn. It's not GDON. I think isn't a DNC, isn't that I think that was one of the mail providers that we saw before. Maybe I can actually search for it. No, okay. Okay. I think that's where my address is. No, and mine was Arden. Okay. Well, then I guess let's see if we can. This is excellent practice, by the way, to send the exact same phishing email the exact same way with just various little. Oops, that's not the right name. Rees. Nope, not Aiden. DNC. This is weird. I do not work there. Okay. Where? Where? Um, do I need the? No, I shouldn't need the. Shouldn't have to. Like, who talks like that? Um, all right, let's delete these. Same message. I didn't work there. So where do you work, Mister Annabor? If that is your real name. I wonder if it's like. All right, we're gonna throw some more at him. Use Kanku. Use. I'm gonna try lowercase. I'm just gonna throw it on there. That's nobody talks like that, but we'll try it. Oops. Weird. I do not work there. Okay, so it's still not right. So we got the right fish. Got the right admin name. Company. Let's try. I'm just gonna try it lowercase, I guess. It's the last time I capitalized. I think the P and C. No. Okay. Maybe we should try a different fish. Maybe we don't have the company name, and we should try a fish with that doesn't require it. Yeah, let's try this one. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. Oh, okay. Pepper. Okay. Now that we have that, now we can SSH perhaps. And it is, we're at Pepper. Incorrect user password. It is case sensitive. Okay, there we go. All right, your first remote connection. Before consuming, it's important that you know some details about remote connections, okay? Remote connections can only be made through the terminal. In addition to the SSH command, you will discover other programs that will also allow you to connect remotely to a machine. When connected to a machine, you can navigate through its file system and run programs as if it were your machine, okay, provided you have the necessary permissions. Note that you can launch visual programs through the terminal, even connected to a remote machine. For example, although you can use the scp command to upload and download files from the remote machine, you can also do so using the UI to do this. Launch File Explorer from program from the terminal where you connected. So I will then move this out of the way. So then I cannot. Yeah, I don't have any remote targets there. Okay. From the terminal. Okay, so then we can do that. But can we just browse around here? Yes, we can. Okay, good. Oh, you want me to actually do it? Okay. Consider it done. As you can see, you are browsing through the file system of the remote machine. Yes, I do see that. You can copy and paste files between machines using File Explorer either by dragging icons. Okay. File Explorer, you can launch any program and command that is on the remote machine. Okay. It is recommended that you copy this scanlan program on the remote machine and run it. Scanlan is a powerful program that shows you the network configuration. Let's see. Do I personally have scanlan myself? Did I actually grab that user. Yes, I do. It is especially useful to solve the missions and know which is the victim's machine according to its local address. Oh, I should probably have also grabbed this. So I probably need it. All right. Keep in mind that when you scan a public address with Nmap, it may not show you all the computers on the land. Well, I guess it depends on the parameters you're passing it, but yeah, let's see in either case. It's weird how some of these are highlighted like network configure red. Um, anyways, to access these computers, you'll first have to access some other machine. Okay, hold on. Getting ahead of myself and I got lost here. Okay, let's start here. Keep in mind that when you scan a public address with the map, it may not show you all the computers connected to land. Edge services, since some computers will not have the port configured on the router and therefore will not be visible from the outside. Yes. Well, I mean, yes. Okay. To have the, I mean, there's a lot of different reasons why, an external Nmap scan wouldn't show certain things. And I mean, certainly not every asset on the inside of a network is going to be publicly accessible, obviously, but that may be configured on the router or maybe an internal networking equipment, or it could even be something host based, right? So for example, if you have a host based firewall or IDS IPS, a HIPS or NIPS as we say, or you might simply, the way Nmap works by default, unless you send parameters to not do this, is Nmap will not scan. Let's say that we throw a range of IPs at it. So let's say that we do a scan in this case for 99.237.5.6, and then we say 0/24 to grab the whole 5.6 subnet. It won't automatically scan every IP in that range. It will first send a ping, and if it doesn't receive a reply from the ping, it assumes that the asset is unreachable and so skips it and will not perform any additional scans on it. So if you have a host configured simply to just ignore ICMP, then it won't send a packet back, and it's not going to scan it then. So that's another reason why you may not get it back if you do a broad scan like that, among other various reasons, as I said. All right, so to access these computers, you'll first have to access some other machine. There's a port open to the outside, or gain a shell access to the router, and from there get to the machine on the LAN. Okay. You can see more details about ScanLAN in the manual. It's a good time to show you how to avoid being caught by the authorities. Well, I mean, I should say so. Let's see if we can run ScanLAN. All right, we are going to have to copy it over. So, bleh, bleh. And oh my goodness, this is something. I tell you, I wish some of the tools that I used for this were this nice. And I guess it's not unlike a vulnerability scanner. Some of them can do data flows, or logical charts like this. So this is where I am. It does not have a host name. Let's see, device details. Wait, that's not me. Oh, it is. Okay. We got a couple of, so we have a lower level networking device here, a switch. Okay. Oh, okay, I see. So this is a wireless access point, broadcasting a array bar. ESSID. Okay, here we have another device here with nothing connected to it. That looks like another access point, as long as the icons are consistent, and they do seem to be, because these would be, oh, these are hubs. Okay. And then here, would you have a switch? Yes. Okay, so that's a switch. These are access points, or actually, this must be a router, because Wait, does this say router? Did I miss that? Yes, it does. Okay, so the networking configurations, it's not okay. So the networking configuration is a bit strange looking because it's considering wireless access points to be routers. We don't have APs personally, which is, I mean, it's perfectly fine. It's I wouldn't say an unusual representation. It's just, it threw me off a little bit. So basically, you have wireless routers as access points here, which is fine. You can configure them that way. My own home network, for example, has, of course, the feed in to the home, and that's connected to a wireless router. And that wireless router, because I cannot get a Wi-Fi signal to propagate through my house for various reasons I won't get into right now. So what I have actually had to do is to run cable to other parts of the house, and then I got other wireless routers, just off-the-shelf commercial wireless routers that I instead configured to. I just turned. Well, I won't get into how I did it because that's not really important right now. But suffice to say, I just have them configured to be access points. So they all go back to the router, and they all have one DHCP, and it just extends the range out, and then it pushes a wireless signal out to those other parts of the house. So, why was I talking about this? Oh, okay. We were just looking at scanlan. Okay, let's minimize that for now, and come back to that. I don't see scan. Oh, oh, here we go. Wait, can you see that in OBS? Yeah, you can. Okay. I did not even notice that we have a taskbar down here. So. All right, I am going to close this. I'm going to leave that open. All right, yes, show me how to avoid being caught by the authorities, please. When you access a remote computer without authorization, it is very likely that you will attract the attention of the system administrator. If it finds the machine that started the hacking, it will inform the authorities. Depending on the type of network you have accessed, administrators can be more or less permissive. Okay. Hold on, I'm going to do this one. I was going to read the whole thing and then break it down, but we're already getting to the point here. Okay, so when you access a remote computer without authorization, it is very likely that you will attract the attention of the system administrator. Yes and no depends a lot on the target and a lot, well, mostly on the target, to be honest with you. So not all organizations are going to have the same incident response and incident monitoring capabilities. It is entirely possible, and we have seen even with very large, well-prepared organizations, that blind spots can result in sometimes months or even years of infiltration without detection. So whether it's very likely that you will attract the attention of a system administrator depends on a lot of different factors that, of course, the attacker may or may not already be aware of, depending on the nature of the attacker and the nature of the attack. So, but this is a game. I got to keep that in mind. So for gameplay purposes, I can see why they want a more interactive, adversarial sort of situation. So, I'm willing to accept the fact that there are system administrators out there at every organization that may detect me. That's fine. If it finds the machine that started the hacking, it will inform the authorities. So most of the time, the authorities may be notified. The authorities are not going to respond, not right away anyway. When you're a cybersecurity professional in charge of incident response at an organization, contacting the authorities and gathering evidence along the way is part of the process, but the authorities are not going to come in and save the day. You are responsible for shutting down that attack, for remediating and mitigating. All of those fall under private sector stuff, right? You can take that, you can hand it over to the authorities, and the authorities can continue an investigation after that. But to be honest with you, generally speaking, most of the time, nothing comes of it, simply because there's so many cyber attacks that are out there. And unless there is a criminal prosecutorial interest in pursuing the case, generally speaking, these are going to be civil matters, which means that the authorities may be involved, but still the majority of prosecution, at least here in the United States, will take place under civil court, which means that you will still need to gather evidence, but the evidence that's gathered by private investigators or by cybersecurity professionals in the course of their incident response duties are perfectly fine, which is why part of what I do as a professor is try to teach cybersecurity professionals forensic processes and cybersecurity strategies. Well, I mean, the whole thing inside out, really. to make sure that these attacks can be stopped, but then also that there is enough information moving forward to prevent another attack, but also, if necessary, to pursue legal avenues afterwards. Depending on the type of network you have accessed, administrators can be more or less permissive. I mean, that's absolutely true, right? I mean, if I have proper network segmentation and I have security zones set up, and my zone 4 is insulated and isolated, and there's several layers of abstraction between our zone 4 and, let's say, our zone 1, our BYOD network. I mean, I see stuff on the BYOD network all the time. You don't need to have credentials to log into a public Wi-Fi that's offered as a community service. If I see something on that network that I don't like, for example, torrenting or something, I will kick them off the network. But that's going to be about it, right? Unless I see a repeat offender or something, I'm not gonna go crazy because I see somebody is using Tor or something on the public network. A good administrator usually finds suspicious activity where others do not see it or simply ignore it. I mean, that's 100% true. Yeah. I mean, I would hope there's a lot more good than bad out there, but of course, I have been a working cybersecurity professional for a while, and I know that that's not always true. In any case, it is highly recommended that you delete your tracks once you have finished an intrusion, and all computers keep a log of the log. Keep a log of the log in var system.log. I mean, yeah, that's not going to be the only log, though, right? I mean, this is a remote connection, so there's going to be a firewall log. There might be an IDS IPS log. Depending on what we're doing, there's going to be logging for various different services. So, for example, there's going to be IIS logs. There's going to be FTP transaction logs. There's going to be, there's going to be logs all over the place. But again, we're gamifying this to a certain extent. So we have to the developers of the game have to have an adequate challenge that is met with an appropriate amount of resistance and avenue to success. I just noticed time is flying here. Look at the minutes are flying by every 10 seconds or so. In it, system events are registered, such as incoming or outgoing connections, deletion of files. So in this case, system var, or the var system.log is a confluence of many different logs, it seems. So incoming and outgoing connections is going to be your firewall log. Even if you don't have the firewall on, as it's not blocking anything, it's always a really good idea in terms of having information available to do incident response and forensic work, to turn on the firewall into audit mode so it doesn't block anything, but it is recording incoming and outgoing connections. Deletion of files are system transaction logs, which may or may not be present. On NTFS file systems, you have what's known as the MAC-B time, and there's a MAC-B register in some operating systems that keeps logs, transaction logs here. This might also be for example, a running transaction log that you might see in a database or something like that. You can also do system auditing with certain operating systems, including Linux and Windows, where all transactions can be kept for this kind of thing. So this is just kind of a mixture of different logs. It says etc. So I don't know what else it might be in there. I wonder if I can. Okay. Okay. I don't know why it wouldn't take me there before, but okay. What the hell? There we go. Can't open it's not a binary file, it's a log file, so it will be let's see. Okay. There's no file command. So the can't open I'm not surprised by, because there's a good chance it would be locked, but it shouldn't say binary file. But that's fine. Oh, I see, because all right, they want me to use a thing here. Okay. So okay, we just did that. Oh, that's why CD didn't work. I'm getting my operating system's screwed up again, and I used the wrong slash. That's my fault. All right, so this is what that looks like. Is that for real? I can't actually. So we can just straight up see our public IP here. Public IP. Okay. Yep, that's us for sure. All right, it's important to keep in mind that the deletion of the records is only useful when a passive trace occurs. There are two types of traces an administrator can perform, an active trace and a passive trace. So, system administrators, like any other worker, have a work schedule. Is usually advisable to access remote machines at times when the administrator is not working. Programs like Admin Monitor notify you in an automated way. Okay, this is getting kind of weird here. So active trace and passive trace, the real world analogs there would be a passive trace might be something like alerting that has been set up. So we can have on all of our security appliances, we can build out, well, not all because some are better than others, but generally speaking, security appliances will have the ability to do alerting based on rule sets. So, for example, you can have like the IDS, IPS, an intrusion prevention system will block when an attack matches a signature. And IDS is just a detection system, so it doesn't actually stop anything, and it's the deployment. Well, hold on. We don't need to talk about IDS, IPS here. This is going to get super long, but point is that in any case, when an alert is triggered, when a rule is triggered, I should say, it can send out an alert. And so that should go to, for example, a SOC, a security operations center, so somebody can analyze it. In some smaller shops, it will go directly to a security analyst or even to somebody who's maybe an information security officer. Probably not a CISO level. If you're a CISO and you're still handling alerts, then your organization really needs some more security resources. But something like that might be considered a passive trace, where you have security appliances that are doing monitoring and blocking, and then they send alerts out to somebody who's monitoring those, and hopefully somebody sees it in time to do something about it. An active trace has a harder analog. Something like that might be, I guess that might be after a passive alert is triggered and then somebody is actively looking into the situation and seeing, for example, connections as they're occurring in real time instead of waiting for alerts to respond to them. So, yeah. Now, as for Admin Monitor, which is a program apparently that lets you know when an administrator is present and the approximate time remaining until an active trace reaches you, that's seems to be purely fiction. I don't see. I mean, yes, administrators will have work schedules like any other, and if I'm stuck in a 2-hour meeting and an alert comes in, I will obviously be slower to respond to that because I'm in a meeting and I'm not checking for alerts. That would, I mean, it's bad enough that I got to be in the meeting to begin with, but then everyone gets mad at me because I'm constantly checking my phone because alerts keep coming in. So, yeah, work schedules change. Generally speaking, if you're going to be the kind of person who's doing incident response for cybersecurity, it's going to be a 24/7, 365 kind of gig. Hopefully, you have enough people on the team to spread the misery out a little bit, but there kind of is no such thing as downtime. That said, if it's 3 in the morning and I'm asleep, I'm slower to respond because I'm sleeping. But still, but there's no program that lets people know where I am. I suppose if I was going to reach a little bit and find a real world analog, maybe some kind of program that monitors either like instant messaging platforms like Teams or Skype or Discord, and or Outlook mail client or something like that, to see whether my status is idle or away or do not disturb or available. I'm really reaching here, though. It's likely recommended that you take a look at the manual in the trace system section to know more depth how the traces work and the different ways to avoid them. For the moment, it is enough that you know this way to eliminate your trace. Okay. It's important that you remove any traces that may incriminate you in an unauthorized connection. In the current version of the game, you just have to delete any entry in the file that is whether that is either shell obtained or file deleted along with your IP address. If the admin monitor program warns you that an admin, so let's run this admin monitoring. Okay. Apparently, I needed to keep this up. I don't know if I have. I do not have. Do not have admin monitoring. Was that one of the things that I could have downloaded but didn't? Doesn't look like it. I don't see it. So nope, no, it's not there. Uh, okay, maybe that's something I got to get later. Um, do not delete the entire log, since inevitably when you disconnect from the machine, you will create an entry in the log with your disconnection, creating the file if you had deleted it. If an administrator sees a log file with only a disconnect entry, he will suspect and start the trace against you. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, reading log files is something of a necessary skill in the field. And if I do see a disconnect without a connect, then yeah, I'm going to think, wow, okay, where did that connection come from? That said, if I see a connection from an unfamiliar IP address, depending on, of course, the log. I mean, if it's a web server or something, then obviously I'm not going to think anything of that because that's what that web server is supposed to do. But if I see like an administrator's workstation or something with a weird connection, I'm still going to be suspicious, obviously. Anyway, let's do what we came to do, eh? We'll come back to the log. And where was the config file? Well, first let's go back here and let's take a look at this. Hannibal, you're watching the news. Yes, the Sentinel thing. Oh my God, was it really them that confirmed it? I'm freaking out. It seems like they were. Robbed a bank, leaving unsettled clues, trying to blame Sentinel and such. The point is, in a matter of a few days, the members of the robbery were handed over to the police by real members of Sentinel. The same week being incarcerated, they all died this cyber curse. I was surprised that you were so surprised. Everyone knows that this is not the first time they have killed. Hacking the military's drones and killing all the soldiers at the base, I don't think is the solution. I'm trying to make much sense of what they do. So we have Sentinel is apparently some kind of hacker collective. What is this? New OS part. I hate the display here. PDF. As far as a patch was released to fix okay. It was a oh here we go, mail config. Job done. But what is this? A bank account or something perhaps? No secrets. Okay, so let's close this. We are going to need to do and delete that. Can't save. Permission denied. Okay. Need to Oh. Huh. Well then. Okay, can't do that. Hmm. Well, that's a little bit of a problem. Uh, I mean, I'm not surprised. Hmm. Well, let's go back here. We need to run decipher. Oops. Bu- 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 Cipher. Oops. Come on. Can't find. Do I need the full string here? Why would I need that? Huh. Wait, decipher can't find. What is right there? Oh. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, it needs to be a separate file. If I had known that, then I would have. Hey, now let's doing that work here. I cannot delete the log unless I have privs, and I don't know who I am. I'm Anamor. Duh. Um. Okay, can't list. Can't. Who am I? Um. And I can't cat, can I? No, I can't cat. Password found. Warren C. All right, come on. All right. You have done well. If you want to work, you may visit this web. Okay, I shall visit that web. I cannot. Let's see. Should I focus? Let's see. So normally with privilege escalation, what I would do is I would poke around for a while, but I don't have. I'm torn between continuing to do this or to continue to try to work on the system log, and just moving on. I feel like I should just move on. And the reason that I feel that way is because I don't see. I'm torn because the game said it wouldn't hold my hand, but at the same time, I feel like I would be given I was given instruction to delete the log. I was told not to delete all of it. Can I even? Permission denied. And I don't have proofs. So I'm gonna leave it. All right. Let's go to that there and see what's up. Hopefully that decision doesn't come back to bite me, but we'll see. Look in my personal store. Buy what you want. I will not ask questions. If any of the users report this site to the police, I will be forced to make public a list of all the users of the site. Well, that's not very nice. Oh, there's admin monitor. In hack shops, there are usually jobs available. In addition to the tools and jobs, some hackers publish their exploits on these pages. The main services and programs of a computer depend on the libraries they've installed. For example, an SSH server has the libssh, SO, a library installed system. Okay, here we go. So yeah, this was going to be my essentially my next step to getting privs to delete the log file. I just hadn't been given this instruction yet, so I wasn't sure if I was supposed to leave it or what. Okay. As these vulnerabilities are exploited, library developers will discover and patch them. Due to the nature of the software development, library updates will bring new errors and vulnerabilities that make their versions are safer than others. Okay, yep, that's fairly true. Search for exploits in the store. You have to select the library version you want to hack after pressing search. This will appear. Okay. Local and remote use. Remote exploits are those that can be run from any computer to attack any remote machine. This type of vulnerability is reserved for libraries of programs that have services open to the outside, such as, okay, yes, that's true. I have yet to see one of these hacking simulators take advantage of the CVE system. I think that would be a good inclusion into the game. I can see why developers avoid it, because maybe it's a bit much, like it seems a bit complicated, although, I mean, it's a really simple system, but I understand it seems, complicated to people just coming to the topic. But yeah, CVE systems, classification systems already will classify exploits based on, a number of different factors, but remote or local is certainly one of those. And the exploit in the store is detailed. So, going to a site like this for an exploit is, not. So we didn't connect to any privacy enhancing technologies. We're not using a VPN. We're not using Tor. This is a pseudo dark website of some kind. Although you can find exploits like this on the ClearNet. That's not a problem, really, I guess, so much. I would say it's a bad idea to host on the ClearNet, but who am I to judge? But normally what we would do in a case like this is we wouldn't have to go to some dark website for something like this. You would go to a dark website if you want to purchase like novel malware or something, or even non-novel malware. But for exploits like this, I mean, they're packaged exploits you can find just about anywhere, right? We can even use platforms like Metasploit to grab them out of repositories and then use them. It's for security research purposes. It's not necessarily it's not illegal. It's not illegal to have it. It's not illegal to do it. It's illegal to use them in a way that is legal, but it's not illegal to use them in a way that's not illegal. We usually don't have to jump through this many hoops. What we will do is when we find, for example, SSH was running on this, so we find a vulnerable service, as they say here, SSH, FTP, SMTP, SQL, and of course HTTP, HTTPS. The most common publicly available services like this. We'll go out and we'll look for known vulnerabilities and then look for a package that matches that vulnerability, which isn't all that dissimilar from the process that we actually are doing here. It's just different enough that it's noticeable. In the description of the exploit in the store, it's detailed what type of permissions are obtained. Okay, yeah, well, I mean, they're almost all going to be, again, CVEs also classify exploits, or vulnerabilities, I should say, classify vulnerabilities based on the level of permissions required to execute them, and the compromise thereafter. But usually, the privileges that are gained are going to be the results of the. So, for example, if you have a vulnerability that allows the arbitrary execution of code under a system context, well, that's really bad because then you have system level privileges. But if it compromises a web server, then the amount of privileges that you have are going to be commensurate with the account, the service account running the web service, right? So it may not be that bad, or it may be disastrous, depending on all those factors. So, for example, if executing an exploit gives you access to a terminal on the victim's computer, depending on the type of exploit, you will have rootcast or common user access to the machine. The exploits of local use can only be executed from the victim's machine since they use vulnerabilities in the libraries, blah, blah, blah. This means in order to successfully run a local exploit, you first need to have gained access, at least as a guest. Okay, yes. Use exploit, but yeah, privilege escalation. Okay, got it. Some vulnerabilities require that specific behaviors occur in the program in order to exploit it. Okay. You select an exploit to buy it. You have the option to download the source code or the compiled version if you want to download the exploit source code to review and compile it yourself with the code editor. Check the source code conversion box. If instead you want to download the exploit ready to be used in terminal, okay. So, but is there going to be a difference? It's not telling. I mean, if there's a compiled version, is getting the source code just like for my own edification, and so that I can have extra hacker cred, or is there a danger to using the precompiled version? Like, is somebody going to sneak in some malware, or are they going to give me something that's junk? I don't know. It's not saying. In the real world, yes, that would be a possibility. When you're dealing with stuff that's kind of on the fringe of legality, when you're doing security research, I mean, sometimes you find some stuff that's not nice. Libraries often have more hidden vulnerabilities than those found in exploits published in hack shops. These vulnerabilities can be scanned with the scanlib tool to program your own exploits. Okay, that's cool. If you are interested in programming, check the scripting section of the manual. That's all for now. Okay. Well, we're going to want to get admin monitor. Oh, it's $15. How much money do I have? Bank account unknown. Decipher I already have. That's free. Scanlib, $45. Scan router, sniffer. Exploits. The SSH version 1.0. Get access to a shell in remote use. Take advantage of a vulnerability in the SSH service to inject a new password to a registered user. Grant access to the... Well, that's what we want. $65. Let's reconnect to that. Oh my goodness, it remembers everything that was in the SSH session apparently is here in the buffer for the... There we go. All right. All right. I mean, at this point, we wouldn't be looking for a vulnerability in SSH anymore. We have an SSH session open. We would be looking in it for a vulnerability somewhere else. Run. No. Okay, I have a very limited command set here. Okay. Just want to see what services are running or what sessions are open or something, but I can't. Do these get more expensive as they go? No, they're just I can't sort by price here. And listing it does not actually show more at a time, it shows less. Okay. Okay, we don't want remote use. We have an SSH. This is the one I want. Oh, can I? Can I just get it? File not found on the server. You must register a bank account in order to buy. Okay. Then I guess let's do. Can I? No. Library analysis tool. Okay. So this is definitely not the kind of stuff that you would see on the ClearNet. This shouldn't be hosted here. The client wants to modify the information of a police, or I mean, at least not out. I mean, maybe, you know, maybe behind a secure login or something. I mean, stuff happens on the ClearNet all the time. I mean, human trafficking happens out on the open on Craigslist. So, but I didn't have to log in to get to the site, so they shouldn't be. How do I connect a? Excuse me. How do I connect a bank account? Let's register a bank. Maybe I have to do a job first. Huh? Accept. Accept. What's going on here? Oh, okay, there we go. Got an email. Um, Maybe I need to bank. Net test. I'm definitely not using a bank with a URL that's net test. Praxa, Flack, Urger. Let's go Praxa. Register, not a hacker. Well, I mean, the same secure password we use for everything because it's secure. Password 1. My account number is. I can't. Not highlights. Why not? Maybe I don't need to remember it. Oh, in case I do, I should probably. Sure. Excuse me. Info. Secure. Do not share. Password. Password 1. This is how it's done. I'm not going to say I haven't seen worse in my time. Okay, I don't need to remember it. Oh my god, look at this. I have 12. Oh, this is very nice. Now I think I can go and do this then. Do I need to make accounts? I have one now. Can I? Yeah, I'm going to go back to this. Close this. How can I do multiple tabs? Nope. Okay. A lot. Make account unknown. Okay. Well, I have one now. Let me buy. Oh, okay. It did work. Okay. And I thought this was a local exploit. Oh, remote use. My bad. Um, nope, nope. This is the one I. This is the one I wanted. Nope, remote use. Wonder if I can decipher that. By the way, this bank account information. Oh, okay. Okay. I will come back to you. Oh, come on. And while that's running, let's close this and go back to this. Get access to a shell. No, that's not what we're looking for. Looking for a privilege escalation. All of these are remote use. I need a local exploit. Although, I mean, these are all SSH. Like I said, we wouldn't normally be doing that anyway. Hey, we do have a password. Oops. Can I go back? I want a new, another tab is what I want. Are all banks connected? Are they all the same? Uh, the, the, oh my goodness. I don't want to take his money. That's kind of sad. Um, but I will. Oh, crap. Oh, okay. A good thing I wrote it down. Um, boom. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave all those logs there then. I'm not gonna launder this money. I'm gonna go directly from his account to my account, and we're not gonna worry about that because I'm worried about that. I should be laundering this money. But okay. Um, where was I now? I'm pretty sure that even though we really shouldn't be looking for a vulnerability in SSH, that is what we're supposed to be doing. Simply on account of it's just what seems to be correct here, I guess. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete that. Mm-hmm. What did I miss? I wonder. You normally wouldn't need a server for reverse shell connections, although that does work, and is typically how malware will work. With a command and control server accepting reverse shell connections. Um, okay. Let me open up another terminal and let's try this from this way. Damn it. Nope. Oh, that's why. I pressed the wrong key. And what else did it need? Port. Can't find. Okay, so meta exploit is the metasploit analog here. Hmm. Okay, I'm already at over an hour here, so I'm gonna stop here for part two. And with part three, we will either continue to delete this log file, or we'll move on to the next mission, whichever seems more fun at the time. So take care. Hope you enjoyed part two. I am going to be back for part three after now I'm at like what, an hour and a half or 2 hours of playing this game. Still a thumbs up for me. This is it's not obviously a perfect analog to actual security work or pen testing, but I tell you, it's pretty close. It's definitely one of those things where it's clearly gamified and simplified to a certain extent. But number one, it is not simplified to the point where it's no longer challenging, which is one of the biggest problems with hacking simulator games that I have encountered after the dozen or so that I've taken a look at thus far. Is that's almost always the problem, is that it's hacking themed, but there's no challenge because it's just like doing really easy stuff with hacker like flavor to it. Like you're running these tools and you're clicking buttons and stuff, but you're really, all you're doing is kind of clicking the mouse and watching things progress. You're not really doing anything. This is one of the few hacking games where it feels like I'm doing something, and it's not holding my hand, which I love, because that's another pitfall of the hacking simulators I've come across, is that they just make it too easy, and they just say, do this, go here, do that, type this, and so on. I feel like I have just the right amount of assistance with the messages that come up. So it has the hacking analog. It still has the challenge of pen testing. It is not overly simplified, and the tools and such that I'm seeing when I read something, even if I'm like, well, that's not 100% true, I'm still like, this is 80 or 90% true. Like if I see something, I know what they're talking about, like what it would actually be. So, and that's pretty rare. So this so far, after 2 hours, still a thumbs up for me. Definitely coming back for a part three. And also this is making its way into being one of the few hacking games that I would actually recommend to somebody who's interested in hacking, or to my students who want a good hacking themed game. And so far I have like maybe 2 or 3 out of the dozen or so I've tried that I would say these are pretty good, you should check these ones out, and this one's working its way into that list too, which would just be fantastic. So I will see you back for part 3. All right, take care.